to another episode of the Because Money podcast. I'm joined by Sandy Martin and Kyle Prevo, and we've got a very special guest to introduce 2016. We're bringing it off. We're starting it off right. We've got Kerry K. Taylor. The K is important. And she blogs over at squawkfox.com. It's one of the blogs that I actually really enjoy reading and following her on Instagram. How are you, Kerry?
I'm good. And you do follow me on Instagram. You post.
Oh, I totally do. Yeah, well, you've got kid, you know, you share pictures of kid. I like that.
Just one kid. You beat me on that, though.
Yeah, it works. I got 4,
kids.
but yeah, multiple kids. You have kid, I have kids. It works. But yeah, so we're talking about financial apps, applications. Now that could be on your phone, it could be on your tablet, it could be on your desktop. We're discussing applications that make you better and help you finance. So, Kerry, why don't you take it away, start talking about the one you like, then we'll each take a turn, and then we'll kind of go around in the circle for half an hour until Sandy's timer ends off, and then we'll end the episode. So, Kerry, it's on to you.
I feel like I'm in the Brady Bunch. Like, I should be able to tap the people next to me in, like, this bottom window. It's really cool. I know. That's the way I feel. I'm like,
that's a new theme song.
Here's the story of an app by Kerry.
Nice. I'm totally going to call this episode that right there. You already subtitled it. So here we go.
Cool. Okay, I only wish I built this app. I only discovered it maybe 3 weeks ago, and it's because I guess I'm a really bad entrepreneur. But I was really awful at invoicing my clients. So this is an app that really will help people who have a small business get better at invoicing. And my accountant said that invoicing is a really good idea because it helps you stay in business.
Good accountant.
True story.
So,
you're stealing my app right now, aren't you? You're going to steal my app. Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
I'm sorry. Well, it's a Canadian company. And they're actually just located down the street from me. I walk past them every day when I drop my one kid off at daycare or school or whatever it is. It's called Freshbooks. Did I just steal everyone's
You
app?
stole my thunder! I wanted to introduce everyone to Freshbooks. You just took my only app. Anyways, I'll let you continue. It's about you, Kerry.
Hurry up, start searching right now.
Yeah, figure something else out, man. Well, we can all add to it about why you love Freshbooks because I'm only like a new user, right? So you're probably like advanced on this, but it's got an app, and what I really like about it is I can invoice my clients and send neg invoices, and I can keep time tracking of how much time I spend on a client's account, and it just makes my life so much easier. And I really love that it's so low cost. Like, if you only have a couple clients, it's like $10 a month. Mm-hmm. If you have more, I think the most expensive it gets is $40 a month. And for a small business that now all of a sudden has a way to invoice people, that's a really cost-effective way to get paid. So I love it because it's just so seamless. I just invoice in and invoice out. I can do it in multiple different currencies. And I can carry it on the phone and update things as I go along. So I'm a huge fan of this Canadian company because they've just made my business so much seamless. And I can just take the file and email it off to my accountant when I'm done. So there's no more like messy spreadsheets that I used to have to make all the time. So I am totally in love with Freshbooks, and I think it's like an amazing tool for small business owners. And because you guys are also small business owners, I would love to hear why you like Freshbooks too.
Okay, I'm totally jumping in. I love Freshbooks. It is for all of the reasons that you just said. For the fact that it's a Canadian company is awesome, and it really makes everything easy. Like, I feel like I should be on a Freshbooks commercial. I absolutely their support is good. I actually hired a bookkeeper, and I introduced her to Freshbooks because I'd already been using it. I found it on my own, and then she actually went and switched all of her clients to Freshbooks because she just said, this is way too easy for me to go. I have what's called a profit and loss statement. And it generates all of the things, and it points them in the right directions, and I can click on it, and I can search where I'm spending my money and whether I'm making money or not. I know that that's probably like, yeah, that's what everybody looks for. This is the first time I've had one. And you can put your invoices and your expenses, you can attach the expense to it. So when
you can add receipts.
It's so good because when you classify everything as other expenses, miscellaneous, it's kind of like, ooh, You click on that number on your profit and loss, and all of the receipts, the names, all of the amounts come up. It's like I feel really smart when I'm using FreshBooks. I don't have a clue what to do with the information right now, but I've got that information. It's so cool.
That's awesome. See, what I like about FreshBooks is that clients can pay me through it. And then it integrates with the other app, which is Stripe, the payment processor. And then they just happily work together and put money into my bank account, and I don't have to do anything. That's lovely.
Cool. I totally had mine set up so that it was only putting it in every week. And I said, no, that's nonsense. I want it in every day. So really, money comes to my bank account every day. Clients pay me money. And the recurring feature is deadly. In my business, I run a recurring subscription for content. So I work with mortgage brokers, and I do content for their blogs. So I upload it. I just send them an invoice once. I say, hook it up to your credit card, and then it bills them every month. And I try and actually bill them everyone on a different day so that I have money coming in every day. It's really exciting. I always have money coming into my account.
Are they okay with you recurring billing them? Like, is that okay?
They love it. They love it. No, they love it.
That's how I do it with my retainer clients too. It's a monthly fee, and it goes automatically on their credit card, and then they pay it out of their cash flow. It's great.
You know what else is great about it? And I'm just like, I'm on the bandwagon here because I'm just such a noob to it. But I used to have to calculate all the HST and GST for all the different clients across the country. And it was a major pain in the butt because I always had to look up what the HST was, the GST, and all the T that would go along with the invoicing. And I was like, why is this so complicated? And I don't have to do that anymore. And I'm like, wow, less math. I mean, I love math.
Lovely.
This was awful math.
And it's visual. That's what I like. I get my expense categories. It's a pie chart, baby. It's pie chart and little arrows that tell me where I'm spending my money. FreshBooks and Stripe. I'm going to talk a little bit about Stripe. It's my turn now.
Okay. Oh,
Go.
You haven't had your turn yet?
Peter Jackson. So no, Stripe is really good too because Stripe that's what allows people to pay with a credit card. And I actually set up a website today for a guy who runs a charitable organization, and this will be mine. If FreshBooks can't be mine, really, I build a lot of websites on WordPress, and if you've got a charitable website, there's a plugin called Give, and it allows you to seamlessly take donations. So like FreshBooks allows you to invoice an amount and then they pay that amount. Give allows you just to put a button on your site that says, that allows you to choose the amount. And then I powered that Give with the Stripe add-on, and I set it up. I mean, I had it set up in a couple hours this afternoon, and it worked already. I donated $5 to his charity, and the Stripe takes 2.9% and 30 cents. So yeah, he got like $4 and a bit. So yeah, I found that it really worked well. And Stripe kind of is that background payment. I don't like PayPal because I feel it. Maybe I've got a problem with PayPal because I think I hooked up a credit card a long time ago and then it went bunk and then they were asking for my address and business stuff and it didn't work. I don't like how PayPal jumps off the site. You got to do it on a separate site. Stripe allows everything nice, tight, payment right on the site. So Stripe in FreshBooks and Give is the plugin that I like.
Kyle, your turn.
Well, I'm a fan of something slightly less fresh than FreshBooks. It is the poor cousin, or the frugal cousin, known as Wave apps. And the reason I really like Wave, it's going to do, let's say, 90 to 95% of what FreshBooks does. It doesn't have quite all the bells and whistles. It has a lot of it for free. So if you just want to jump in, and it's specifically designed for companies with less than 9 employees, which is a lot of people doing something on the side. FreshBooks is great. It's super professional, easy to use. If you want to be ultra cheap and use a free account, Wave is great. And the one thing I really like about it is they've got, and I'm not sure the FreshBooks had this. They didn't when I looked at it like a year or two ago. But Wave has this cool feature you can scan whatever receipt you have, which is cool for like a small business guy like myself to just, if I have a business meeting with my buddy or I buy, whatever the case is, and I can quickly scan the receipt, and it throws it right into my sort of accounting ledger. So that's a really neat feature that I like for small businesses and sort of stuff on the side that people will do.
Oh, now it's my turn. No, can we talk about Wave just for a minute, though? Does it integrate? Sure. I had a client who was very excited about it, and we worked together a little bit on it, but, I mean, that was just kind of briefly, and it was about a year ago. Does it integrate your personal stuff, too? Is it kind of like Mint Plus for small business? Does that?
It can integrate. Haven't had the smoothest of transitions with that, Justin and I, but we generally try to keep it just for our small business, but they do list it as a feature.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, that's very interesting.
So I'm just looking at Wave right now, and it's $0. So, and I think the old saying goes, if it's free, you are the cost. So your information. So how does Wave make money?
Well, they try to upgrade you, right? It's all about the freemium. So if you want advice, that's a little bit extra. You want some of the resources that they'll give you access to, that's a little bit extra as well. So you can look up, if you look, there's some pretty good comparisons of FreshBooks versus Wave and just sort of what you get for what price point. But they're going to try and upsell you a lot. I mean, that's how they make their money. And you know, if like for me, I would buy the upsell, because I'm not very good with technology and I'm worse with spreadsheets. So luckily I have a Justin as my IT guy, so he handles the Wave fix-its when I break it. But
no, man, so I'll just pay whatever $10 to $40 a month, and I'm like happy. Sometimes you got to pay for it, and they're Canadian. I mean, come on.
That receipt thing, the receipt thing is cool though, and FreshBooks didn't have that.
Yeah, I've taken pictures of
it. Yeah, you can just scan it and it throws it right in there.
Yeah, I take a picture of it.
Yeah, I just take a picture of mine and put it in.
Yeah, something they didn't have like a year or two ago when I looked in Canada anyway.
What FreshBooks doesn't have right now, it doesn't integrate with CIBC, so you can't. Which, I mean, that just happens to be where my business account is. So I can't just tell FreshBooks, or I can't just download my past transactions and then upload it to FreshBooks. I've got to format the file before I upload it, and that's an enormous pain in the neck for me. I came from QuickBooks to FreshBooks, and so at QuickBooks it was just like, well, here's the file and I'm ready. So that's irritating for me, and I'm waiting for CIBC to, I don't know, work with FreshBooks in some way. But other than that, that's the only irritant that I've had.
Is that the only one? Do either of you know, like, does FreshBooks work with all the major banks except CIBC, or?
That's the only one I've run into. It wouldn't be too hard to find out, though. It's not like to advertise it on their website, but
yeah. Well, just because a lot of these things, because it's a Canadian company, like a lot of these are American companies that have one foot in Canada, but
yeah, it was a surprise to me too, because you'd assume that at least kind of the major banks in Canada, but so I'm not sure. I didn't get a story from them why it's not supported. I'm assuming they're working on it.
I use Scotia, and I've had no problems connecting.
There you go.
Good.
It's my poor choice of bank.
Yeah, it totally is.
That's my segue. That's my segue. So my favorite banking, or my favorite finance app is my online banking app, just on my phone. And I don't do anything with it except for check the balance on our variable spending account. This is how plain vanilla it gets for me. I don't use Mint. I don't kind of use that kind of stuff. When I'm out spending money on things that I have a choice whether I want to spend it or not, or whether it kind of fits within the next. I have to buy snow pants for 3 sets of kids now because of the dumb snow. Do we have enough money to do X, Y, Z, or can we blow out date night on sushi or something? I open up my account and it tells me how much is left until the next time I deposit money into it on the 5th of the month, and that's it. So to me, that has been the most. We started doing that, that spending account, I would say 5 years ago now, and that has been the absolute biggest difference in our finances. And it's just that simple smartphone app.
Well, I think what you've seen is companies like Mint and YNAB came in and get all techie on everyone here. They disrupted, the user interface for finance, really, taking picture checks or different budgeting features. Well, RBC and Scotia and these guys aren't stupid, right? They've got millions and millions of dollars to throw at people, and in your case, CIBC, Sandy, and so they're all coming out now with this budgeting, and it'll throw it into graphs,
No, I don't use that. I have Quicken for that. It's just if I need to make my business, my spending decisions, I don't like those. I don't like the bank ones that they come out with that are.
It's coming though. They'll be user friendly sooner or later. They have to be, right? The market's calling for it, and instead of being like, oh, can it import your bank account? Well, it already is your bank account. So,
You're right.
And security-wise, they'll just make it. I have faith that their money will rule out.
I have faith in the big banks. That's good to know.
Now that's the clairvoyance part of this talk, where predictions are made.
If you bet on Canadian banks over the last 100 years, you've done all right.
Yeah. But now you're like betting on like financial technology in banks, and my goodness, I don't bet. I tried to gamble once, and I wrote about it, and I just failed. I didn't win the.
Tried to gamble once.
I did.
That's a writing experiment.
I was like, saving's hard, spending's easy. Screw this. I'm gonna play the lottery, and it didn't work out. The math didn't work.
Yeah.
It was really heartbreaking. Okay, what other apps do we all like?
I was expecting you to come out with Checkout 51 or Flip or something like that. You had those up a little while ago on your website.
Yeah, they're still up there. So yeah, let's talk. You know what? Flip's another Canadian company. It's a flyer app, really. So instead of like getting all those paper flyers delivered to your house and having to go through them, what Flip does, it aggregates them. So you enter your postal code and you get all the flyers in your vicinity, and it's really helpful. So if you're trying to save money on toilet paper, you just like enter the search term toilet paper, and you get like all the stores that are selling it on sale. And the coolest thing about the latest version of Flip is that it now has coupons in it. So if that toilet paper has like a coupon, it matches the coupon to the sale. So you're saving even more money. So I took the app for a walk at a number of stores because they challenged me to see how much I could save. And I saved about 30% of my grocery haul without even trying. So I was pretty shocked. Yeah, and it's fun. My husband uses it too. He uses it on iOS. I use it on my smartphone. My smartphone, duh. I use it on my iPhone because my phone is so smart. I use it on my iPhone, and we just make a grocery list, and we check off items, and our daughter helps us like tap the different items for sale, and it puts a circle around it, and it's called the clipboard, and it just clips it, and all the sale items like come up in a wave. So if you enter chicken, it just like pops up all the chicken sales, and it's just I can't get over how easy it is, because I hated going through the flyers. I hate coupons. Like, can I just say that?
Yep.
I've tried to clip coupons, and I hate clipping coupons. I always had the best intentions, and I would put them in my purse, and then I'd be like, I have a kid on a shoulder. I'm about to have a meltdown. I am not pulling out the coupon to save 50 cents on eggs.
Yes.
Like, you know what? Like, screw this. So
as someone with no children, thank you. Because the person in line with children that's trying to save the 50 cents on eggs, that's rough on all of us.
I know.
I'll pay your 50 cents. Just let me know, mother with a child.
I've actually thought about paying for their entire grocery bill.
I have, actually.
Just take your coupons, go.
So, Kerry, save us all.
So yeah, and the thing is, so Flip's free. Just download Flip, and I swear, like, it's not just for groceries. You can find kids' snow pants in there too. You know, I saved $100 on my my Apple computer. I forget, it's an Air. It was last year. I saved like $100 on my Air because I went to the Apple store and I saw that they were selling it for $100 less at one of the electronic stores. And they called up the store. They had it in stock. So I saved the $100 right there. I didn't have to go to another electronics store and price match there. So Apple let me price match using Flip. So that right there was like $100. Like, it just completely boggled my brain that you could do that on an app. You know, just look through all the flyers and just find the greatest deals, and it takes no time. So when someone like emails me asking me for the best price on toilet paper, I'm like, just download Flip. You'll have like your best price right there. And for back to school, it's good. Like, I can't stop raving about it.
How does it
I can get really annoying after a while.
How does it compare to Coupon Sherpa down in the States, Kerry? Have you ever used that? Like, can it geo-target? So if you're like walking through a mall, will it like automatically pop up all the different stores?
No. Well, it does geo-target, right? Because you enter in your postal code.
Okay.
So if you decide to move to the States, Flip works there too. If you move to Toronto, it'll work there. You just have to update your postal code. So if you travel across Canada, you too can save on like cheese in the Maritimes. Easy peasy.
So does it with the coupons? Do you have like the coupon is on your phone and you have to scan it at the at the checkout?
You know what? I wish, and this is where like the coupon industry really stinks,
Yeah.
is because the coupon is the legal tender for the manufacturers, where the retailer proves that the customer brought in the coupon.
Right.
So they need to forward all those paper coupons to the manufacturer to get their money back. So as a customer, what you still need to do is use Flip to print that coupon. But the thing is, it's already matched for you. You don't have any surprises, right? And that's not Flip's fault. I hope Flip can disrupt this whole thing and just like let us scan the coupon from our phone. Like that would be ideal.
You can do it. You can do that down in the States. Like I grew up right on the border, so we do cross-border. We still do cross-border shopping a lot. Yeah. And there are a couple apps down in the States that it's just a barcode and you just scan it in at the till, and I mean it's coming. It'll make its way up here. I'm sure Flip will have it if they're sort of already in the space, but
yeah, it's about the manufacturers. So I think if enough people like whine and cry about it, we want our coupons and we want them digital. You can use that, by the way. We want our coupons. I think.
Tweet, Kerry.
We
want our coupons and we want them digital.
Digital, yeah. Yeah, just scan, no more paper coupons. So here's hoping that'll work. But for now, it's really easy to get deals on chicken and cheese and save like 30% on your grocery haul. So why wouldn't you do it?
Do you combine that also with Checkout 51?
No. I don't even use Checkout 51. I mean, Checkout 51 I tried to use, but it didn't, for me at the time when I last used it doesn't match the coupon to the sale, and I just couldn't be bothered. It's just too much. Like, I'd rather just find a really kick-butt sale or go to Costco. And I mean, you have to choose your poison, right? Like, how much is the couponing worth your time? And for me, that 10 cents on a can of beans, I'm just like, I'm already saving 25 cents, Like these little like nitpicky things, I'm in it to save dollars or percentages or like I'm maximizing my time, people. So if you're into like nickel and diming, then something with small value coupons is totally up your alley. I'd rather just write like another article and make the money that way.
Right. Well, what I like about Checkout 51, and I don't do the main grocery shopping in our house anymore, but I like that it's just cashback. Like, you don't have to carry around coupons, and you just you've got your receipt at the end of the day, and I happened to buy mayonnaise, and look, it's on sale, and I'm just going to upload that and get my money, and that's the part to me that is. I would much prefer that over going through flyers. I find that very stressful for some reason. It's like going to Goodwill and thinking like I've got to look at everything here or I'm going to miss something. So I just don't do good flyers. I know, it's weird. It's a thing.
Well, you don't do the groceries anyway, so it's not your thing.
It's not my thing. I like eating the groceries.
Yeah, eating is an expensive habit. So if you can find like a way to, save on it, then use your Checkout 51 or use your Flip or use whatever it is, to cut the cost. I mean, my husband does a lot of the grocery shopping and he uses Flip to do it. So I haven't, I don't think he'd be a Checkout 51 guy because I just can't see him photographing the receipts, because you get home with the grumpy toddler and you've got to like stuff something in its mouth because they grump.
In its mouth.
Do you know how I save money on groceries? This is how I save money on groceries. I actually just bought a pig. The entire thing.
I've been there, man.
So good. I got to do what's called a cut order, and I sat with a woman for 45 minutes as she went through all the glory parts of the pig that I could cut off and have smoked and turned into sausages, and the different things we can do with an entire pig. I have 100 pounds of meat coming in. It's so good. My main question was, can I turn that part into bacon? Which she typically said yes, and it was a really good experience. I'd like to see a pig on an app like Flip.
You know what? I'm really glad you brought that up because, like, as most people know, I lived on an organic cattle ranch for nearly 10 years. And so there wasn't a time when I didn't have, like, half a steer in my freezer. Because that's what you do, right? So like, you have parts of a steer. So a lot of the farmers in our area would have organic livestock, and they would sell a pig, or they would sell chickens, or you know, a side of steer or whatever it was that people wanted to buy. And that was like a really healthy way to get organic meat at a really good price. So I think that's, you know, basically you need the space though. Like in my little Toronto apartment, I don't have space for half a steer.
Oh, I know. We actually have 15 chickens now. We've got 2 acres. We got a chicken coop, 15 hens, and a rooster who's got one eye, and his name's Blue the Big, and he just kind of parades around his hens. But we get almost a dozen eggs a day. We're getting 10 to 12 eggs a day, and it's so good because we can just eat eggs all the time. But anyways, yeah, back to the country and all that.
There's no app for that, really.
There's no app for that.
There's because money, natural sourced app. That's what we got to do.
Oh,
Free
an app where
range.
all the farmers. No, the problem is I can't even send an email money transfer. I bought a pig. She's already carted it off to the butcher. She doesn't do online banking. She wants me either mail. Yeah, she totally. And that's what I said is I'd love to help you set up your business. And she goes, I don't do online banking. And I'm like, well, you're a farmer. It's all good. You do what you do, man. You just keep making good tasting pig.
I will trade you half a pig for the ability to bank
Let's
online.
barter this out. Absolutely. I'll build you a website for a cow. I would make that trade.
Oh, I can tell you what beef costs. You would be making out quite well, my friend.
I would be doing very well, yes.
Well, you probably wouldn't want to buy a cow.
I just went rural there.
Yeah, well, no, let's go more rural because no one sells cows. That's really low-grade meat. You probably want to steer.
Steer, sure, yeah. I love it.
I don't know how we got here.
Oh, sorry.
See, that's the problem with inviting me on the podcast. Like, I will take you anywhere.
That's not a problem. That's
I kind of enjoy it.
So, Sandy, your first app was CIBC. Go in and check out your account. Like, what do you have? What do you have next for us? Like the clock app? Like,
the clock app.
Is that
Actually,
the next one?
No, the other app that I use that actually goes full. We're having a full circle moment. We're going to do a call back to Freshbooks. I use the Hours app, which is this lovely thing here. I shouldn't show it because it's got client names in it, so I'll just show you this lovely thing, Hours. It syncs with Freshbooks, all of the books that are fresh. So when I'm doing client work and I need to track for efficiency reasons, like I typically don't bill big projects by the hour, but if I need to watch kind of how much work goes into a typical engagement, or if I happen to be doing hourly, I put it into Hours. It's just a tap. Like I just put in, I'm working on client Y, and if I start working on it, I tap the button, and when I stop working, I tap the button, and then I press the button that says sync to Freshbooks, and it just, if I'm billing hourly, automatically it just uploads, and I know how much time I've worked on them, and I need to bill them. It's a lovely app. So kind of like a clock, sort of. It has a clock as an icon. That works, right?
It's legit.
There you
It's
go.
legit.
No, you know what is like the most underrated app ever? It's like Gmail. I mean, sorry, Gmail. I mean,
That is an underrated app.
Sorry.
With good reason.
It's really late. I've had a really long day. Is like Calendar. Google
Yeah.
Calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love that thing because, it goes wherever you go. Because you probably bring your phone wherever you go.
I
And
force
I
my
know-
students to use it now.
and I
In order to pass my class, they have to use Google Calendar. They have to open a G account. Google, it's probably illegal for me to do this because I preference Google over others, but I force them to. I'm like, no, too bad. You're going to be efficient.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like a hardliner. Well, no, we're not that hardline in my family, but my husband likes to keep track of me sometimes because sometimes I'm off doing a speech over here, or I'm at
Running
the
an
library, or I have a deadline, and just to know like what's going on. He takes classes. He has French class, and then sometimes our daughter, doesn't have school, so because of these PA day things, which get really expensive after a while.
Totally. We homeschool, and they're still expensive for us.
So Calendar like really kind of keeps things in line, like it's like I get like an announcement that says, "Oh, Kerry, you're on Because Money in 2 hours," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I gotta like put a shirt on." So really, like prevents public nudity and keeps me, organized. So it's a really good thing.
But that organization, I mean, it's a roundabout way. You don't notice the direct way it saves you money, but it definitely saves you money. Like I use it for all my freelancing work to keep track of my deadlines, and like if I were to miss one of those deadlines, that's a substantial amount of money I've probably sacrificed because I wouldn't hire me back if that happens. So I agree that that's sort of easy to organize, and from anywhere I am, I could pull out my phone. I'm at my computer, and it all syncs up just beautifully. So it's how everyone. Our school division's still pushing these like book and pen like homework things,
agendas.
And I'm just like, what are you doing right now? Like all the kids in grade 3 have smartphones. Like, what can we please get into the 20th century? Never mind 21st century here. But
Cam, bring it back. I got another one.
Go.
I brought it up earlier. Email money transfers. I know it's simple, but it's just more financial. It's online. Do you guys use them as much as I do? I pay all my staff in email money transfers. I email money all over the place. I know it costs $1, but I just like it because I get to control when the money goes out. I get to control when I accept my money. I pay my rent on email money transfer. I pay everything. Am I the only one here, or are you guys on that train?
No, I get clients to pay me email money transfer because then I don't have to pay 2.9% plus 30 cents. Not all the time, but sometimes, sure.
Yeah, I've been paid by email money transfer. It works.
Yeah, I've emailed myself money.
If you want to pay me PayPal, great. If you want to send me a check, great. You want to give it to me through Gmail and the EMT? I'll take it. I'll take it however you want to send me money.
Quote, Kyle,
show up with an envelope of cash.
There we go. Yeah, show up with this dollar bills
envelope
everywhere.
Briefcase. I don't work for nothing.
It's a manila envelope.
No,
it's quite
I was working for nothing until I got Freshbooks because I just hated invoicing people. I do the work and I'm like, crap, screw this invoice.
Well, let's talk about that a little.
That's awesome.
Kerry, let's
so wait,
talk
how much do you think you lost, Kerry? If you had to ballpark it, what do you think you probably lost out on?
Like money?
Yeah, just round idea.
Sanity?
Percentage maybe?
Well, sometimes I would send I would make my own invoice and I'd send it to the client, and then that's more work, so I had to physically follow up. Whereas Freshbooks it follows up for me. So I wrote this nice little nag email that says, "Hey, it's net 30. Where's my money?" And it's a nice little push, and it doesn't seem like it's coming from me because it's not. It's coming from the app. So it's kind of like a really nice hands-off way. But if I had to ballpark how much money I missed out on,
or percentage of your total earnings, if you don't want to put a number on it.
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe a story here or there. So $500 here, $500 there.
Yeah.
Maybe $1,000. So I mean, it's not so bad, but it's
still
still
money to me.
the thought. It's the cost of the thought process that goes into it that just derails me, because it's like, oh god, I got to make an invoice now. How much time did I work? What did I do? I'd go through my calendar and look at all the hours I put in, because of course all the meetings are in the calendar, right? And just now I just don't have to do that anymore. I just type it into Freshbooks.
And it's funny because I'm right there with you. And when you said it was like, how much money it might have cost you not to have it, I'm totally there, because somebody would contact me and say, hey, could you do this for me? Yeah, right. Okay, no problems. I'm not going to bill them for that. I'm not going to bill you for that. Now I've actually put it in place where at the start I just say, hey, I'll do this. This is the time frame, and after that, this is just the standard charging. And it's so funny because I can't send those bills. I hate that. Here's an invoice from me. I would rather just work for free and have somebody go, you're awesome, than actually send an invoice. However, if Freshbooks sends the invoice, they're the bad guy, not me. And I love it. I bill more because I use Freshbooks.
This is why a Canadian company built this, because Canadians hate billing people. We're just so nice. We're just like, oh, I won't charge you for that,
I'm looking at my Freshbooks right now, and I have right now $5,400 in outstanding invoices, and half of them are 31 to 60 days old.
There you go.
But I still feel like even then I didn't know I could send an email that sends the auto nag, hey, where's my money? I didn't know that. I'm going to go in and just do that because I haven't wanted to email them to say, do you know that you're 30 days late? Because I'm kind of scared that I don't want to approach you for it, but I did build you a website and I do want you to pay me the money. But if Freshbooks does it, oh man, that's cash money in the bank. deposited daily.
That's the situation where you get to say, could you see the... I'm just wondering, did you check your spam folder? Did you log in and look at the invoice?
No.
Let me know if you have any problems. Yeah.
I was going to call it Freshbooks. No,
you can actually see when they log in.
I'd love to French my Freshbooks and get fresh, but no, because you can actually see if like the client has opened up the invoice.
Totally.
They don't know that.
I know, but I love that too.
Now.
I watch them go in, look at it, and then come back in 2 hours later, then come back in 2 hours later, and it's like, are you going to pay that, son, or what? Like, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but... Oh, man. And then 3 days later, you get the payment, and yeah, that's good. But
or when they tell you they haven't got it yet, but you know they've opened it, you're like, busted.
You've looked at it 16 times.
I know.
I know, because I can see on my FreshBooks. Oh, man. Okay, are we going to do... Why don't we do a fast round? Do we each have another app, or are we just done?
I used up all of mine.
I'd just like to say FreshBooks. We're a Canadian-run podcast. You're a Canadian-run company. We just gave you roughly half a day of free airtime. Look us up. Look us up.
Yeah. I'm in. Okay. Sandy,
I'm not.
Kerry,
I'm not.
Give us one more. Give us one more.
Like an entrepreneurial app, or...
Yeah, this entrepreneurial podcast is brought to you by FreshBooks and whatever Kerry says next.
You guys are brutal, man. Not only do I have to like have a shower before this thing,
and put on a shirt.
Pants.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing pants.
Neither is Jackson.
Neither am I. I don't own any.
No, you just wear kilt. See, and that's the secret of doing media. Like, you have to ask if you need pants or not when you go in the air. So you're just like, is this like a pant interview, or, you know? Anyways, this is a true story. I once showed up with the wrong pair of pants. But another app that I like, I don't know. You know what? Like, I have to say, I have some there's like the spending tracker I use. And it's pretty okay. I kind of like keep in touch with like what I've spent from day to day. I always but generally like I don't use an app for that. I use just a pen and paper, you know, because it makes me own the fact that I've just tapped my credit card and, you know, poof, it's gone. You know, it's like that old ad from like Apple where you have like, what's her name, Ellen, going poof, gone. You guys remember that? Or are you too young for that ad?
I'm totally gonna YouTube it afterwards. I'm gonna send it to Sandy, and she's gonna put it in the resource list.
Okay, pop culture moment with Kerry. Yeah, because that's the way it feels like whenever I tap my credit card on these things. It's like poof, it's gone. Because when I lived on the farm, like we didn't have these tapping things. There was no tap.
There's no tap.
You know? They like
you're trading half a pig for something.
Yeah, they had to physically like take your credit card and go whoosh 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 whoosh.
Oh, those machines are awesome.
And you had to feel the credit card get burned, right?
Totally.
Now you just tap it, and it's just like you're done. You know, you just pay for your groceries. So, anyways, yeah, I keep a pen and paper, which is really low tech, but it helps me, you know, stay on budget. I don't have to log into my bank account, but you know, I just kind of open my my little spending journal and off I go. But you know, there's an app for that if you're into that.
Wow, and we're done. Sandy's like in the background typing Jackson, end it. We're done. We're over time. My timer's gone off. Jackson, quick, close this down. So, well, thanks, Kerry. Thanks for joining us. I think we've all laughed more this show than we have the rest of the season. So.
Are you serious?
That's totally.
Really lame.
Oh,
I don't know what to do.
It's supposed to be boring, right?
Not plan what apps we're going to talk about, and I'm like, should we plan this out? And Sandy's like, no, I know what we're talking about.
No, we didn't want to.
I started with FreshBooks, and I usurped everyone.
Stole my thunder, but that's all right. We can
Came
still
out
be friends. Alrighty, thanks everyone for watching. And how about this? We're gonna leave the list open. So if I'm on a video right now, right below is a list of apps. If you've got one that you want, why don't you add it to there and kind of put in the little description, this is why I like the app. And if nobody does that, it's because nobody's watching this. Anyways, goodbye.